Foxy 107, 104, the real sound of the triangle. In honor of Black History Month, we've got lots of different people coming into the station to share information with our listeners. And I've got Mr. Holder here, who is a local owner, operator of McDonald's. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, and I want to, before we get too deep into our conversation, thank Foxy and thank Karen and everybody at Radio 1 for highlighting Black History Month. We too often don't talk about the things that we need to discuss, and so thank you so much for what you're doing.
Hey, we try to be the voice of the community here. So we're glad that you could take time out to chat with us. Now, I know that you are a very busy man. So let's jump into this. I need the details. So how many McDonald's are you actively touching right now?
Yeah, we've been blessed. We grew by 2 in 23, and so we're now running 6 restaurants in the Raleigh, Wendell, and Zebulon area.
Okay, that is such an incredible blessing.
It is.
All right, but
and we're thankful.
And what's your favorite item on the menu?
Quarter pounder with cheese.
That's a good one. That is a classic. You can never go wrong with that
Quarter
one.
pounder with cheese, cooked fresh, never frozen. The best sandwich in town.
All right, I love it.
Yes.
So, what is it like being a Black owner operator of a McDonald's? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, thankful to McDonald's for giving myself, my family, and many others who look like me an opportunity like this to be part of the American dream. And so it's a wonderful thing. The good part about franchising is everything is done for you. And so if you can follow the dots and connect the lines, it becomes easy almost. And so we're grateful for that. I think the challenge becomes that which is in your question. Are we treated the same? Does everybody look at us the same? And just like anything else in America, the answer would be no. The challenges, I think, in the communities where we operate are different. And so we have to deal with that. The expenses are a little bit higher because of those challenges. And so profitability is a bit different. And then just the politics of being Black in America.
Right.
Being a Black McDonald's operator doesn't make me any less Black than the brother standing on the corner.
Right.
And so I face all of the challenge that all of Black America does, except I'm fighting my battle in a corporate setting as opposed to some others. And so I think McDonald's has done well in coming around and trying to address some of those issues and making it better and more equal for Black operators. I think they're opening up their diversity door wider, and we're thankful for that. But McDonald's, just like America, has got some challenges yet ahead so that we can all experience and enjoy the dream called America.
Now, how did you get here? Did you have someone that was like, hey, this is something you should look into? Or how did all of this come to be?
Well, I was blessed with a wife that's a dreamer. And
It's important to have a really good wife by your side.
Well, actually, the proverb says that a man who finds a wife is blessed. And so I am for sure. But she's a dreamer. And she said to me one day, I was a police officer at the time, and she was a flight attendant. And she said, we should open a McDonald's. And there was this man on TV who said he can help us get one. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice. And I went on to work. And in fact, that man on the TV, Robert Lee Dunham, my mentor and my best friend, set us up. And he gave us an interview appointment with the franchising manager in New York. After having a 3-hour dinner with Lee, he screened us and he said, you know what? I think you'll do okay. And so Lee Dunham set us up for the opportunity. We talked to franchising in New York, and here we are 32 years later.
Wow.
A lot of hamburgers and French fries behind us.
I believe it. Yeah, no, I believe it. Well, I guess so. When your wife was like, "We should get a McDonald's," you were like, "Oh, look at my baby dreaming again."
Yes. I
She-
went right to work, straight to work.
Do you ever miss being a police officer?
I do every single day of my life.
Really?
As much as I'm thankful for this opportunity
Mm-hmm.
in McDonald's, when you put that police uniform on, every day is an opportunity to help somebody who perhaps can't help themselves, to help the weak against the strong. And so I love the chance to serve and to protect, if you will. I love that job and miss it dearly. I was part of the Port Authority Police Department in New York, and we were the eighth largest department in the country at the time, and just a great department, a lot of really good folks over there. So I miss it. I embrace the opportunity that I've been given at McDonald's, but I miss that always.
Do you ever have any of your team members who come to you, team members specifically who look like you and look like me, that are like, how do I get to where you are? How do I become you one day? And what do you tell them?
I fielded that question so many times, and so I've learned in life not to try to mislead people, to be as honest as I can. And so when I get that question, I refer them to the McDonald's website, where all of your basic information is there. Read through that, and if you get through it and you have some questions, come back and then let's talk about that. And that's kind of my filter almost. Everybody sees something and it looks easy and is interested until they find out that maybe it's more of a challenge than they thought. And so if folks come back and we have a second and third conversation, then I'll keep moving them through the process as much as I know it. I'm not an expert, and I surely have no connections like that.
Right.
But I'll give the information that I have. If you show me that you're really interested, then I'll do all that I can to help you. My mentor, Lee Dunham, had put at least 8 or 10 people into the McDonald's system. He lived his life to help other people, and so I pray every day that I'll be half of what he turned out to be.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. So, how many black franchise owners does McDonald's have in our area?
Well, I think nationwide we're about 160, and I think in the Raleigh-Durham area there's 4 of us, I believe, 4 or 5, and in the East Coast region is probably maybe in the 40s, I would guess.
Okay. So
guess.
four or 5 in our area. So basically you are creating black history here, right? Because 4 or 5 of y'all, that's not a lot. That's
No,
not a lot.
it's not
That's,
a lot.
you are in a very short list, a very short, easy to remember list. How does that feel?
I met Brother Settles the other day. He played in the NFL at a Jack and Jill function, and I said, you're part of a very small club in New York, NFL players. I said black NFL players, but I said we're even smaller, black McDonald's operators. I said, so my club is even more exclusive than yours. I was kidding him, but I said to him too that much harder to get into your club than mine.
Yeah.
But I would hope that we are establishing some black history. I think we may be pioneers somewhat in the franchising industry. I hope so. I hope at the end of the day when folks look back, they'll be able to say, wow, those black operators made it better in the communities where they served and sold hamburgers. And so I hope we'll be making some good history as it proceeds.
So tell me in closing, kind of what do you feel, or do you feel that you need to do kind of more in your community where you own than maybe franchise owners who are not black?
There's no question about that. If you're not grateful for what you've been given in life, and surely I was a police officer for 20 years. Before that, I was a bus driver for 2 years. And so now here I am, a McDonald's operator with 6 restaurants. And so there's no way that I I could operate and not always feel an obligation. Janetta Cole said, "Lift as you climb," and so I have an obligation that I embrace and do the best to fulfill. I would hope that I can do much more than we've already done. I always look for opportunities to do more for the community, and hope that folks who are around us would seek us out if they have something positive that they would like us to be a part of. We welcome the opportunity.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us this Black History Month. And keep doing what you're doing. It's been a minute since I've seen you. So maybe the next time I see you, you'll have a couple more McDonald's
I
under
sure
your
hope
belt.
so. I hope so. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
You too.